Hey everyone, I'm Loren Silverman from Silverman Coach. I'm a life coach and strategist as well as a business consultant. I've been in technology careers for the last 20 years in leadership positions and at working with big companies like Ernst& Young and other enterprise organizations. And who I'm working with right now is nerds, techies, high achievers who feel stuck or directionless, and I help them get clear, avoid burnout, and live their lives in alignment with their values and actions. So after about 20 years in a technology career in a lot of different roles, including some leadership positions at some big companies, I went to Poland in 2022. This is shortly after Russia had invaded Ukraine and there was a refugee crisis. I knew a lot of developers that were Ukrainian on my team, and I just felt compelled to do something. So I went to Poland. I met up with a British organization that was transporting people that had come over the border from Ukraine into Poland to other points in Poland. So I spent a little bit over a week driving families to safe houses. I drove a British Marine who had volunteered and came back from the front lines, 4-hour drive back to Warsaw so that he could get a flight home. And it was a very moving experience, aside from the fact that I felt connected to the world and humanity at large in a different way. I realized what I most enjoyed about my career in technology was helping other people move forward. I loved seeing people that I had trained, grow up in their industry and start their own companies or become vice presidents. So I started thinking about what I wanted to do and how I wanted to contribute. And that led me to seek out a career in coaching to help others who were like me several years ago, kind of burnt out on tech and not really getting where they wanted to be. Now I have that experience and I can help others achieve what they're looking to achieve. What mainly inspired me to become a coach was working with people in industry. I always enjoyed mentoring and coaching them, and I realized that that was the most fun part of that job, and that really, once I kind of got my actions aligned to my values, everything fell into place. And so, figuring out what my values are and what was important to me, and then aligning the actions to those values is what really led me to become a coach. So right now I'm working with people doing what I call a life reboot nerd edition. It's a 90-day gamified coaching experience. Think Dungeons and Dragons meets coaching. And first session is we create your character. So you get a character sheet and you start defining yourself around your communication, your boundaries, your energy, direction, and you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 for all of those. And then those attributes are equated to charisma and strength and wisdom and intelligence, like a Dungeons and Dragons character. And then over the course of the 90-day program, every week you're doing a main quest. You have side quests that you can do and you earn XP, and you basically watch your character, which is you, leveling up in real life over the course of the 90 days, and then you have the tools to, after the 90-day program is over. So aside from the Life Reboot Nerd Edition program, I am local to the greater Phoenix area, and I have another program that's a group in-person program. I'm building the cohort for January for that group, and that group is called Building Connections. And that's for people who are maybe new to the area or maybe have some difficulty engaging in social situations, don't know how to make a friend group, don't know how to grow their support group. So this is again a 90-day group coaching program where every week we do exercises and role plays, 90-minute sessions as a group to practice some of those real world experiences in a safe environment. And then there's other things that we do also, like wingman for a night, where I can accompany someone, help them go out and help them start conversations with people and just show them what that's like. So using those real life skills. When I moved to Arizona 5 years ago, I didn't know anyone. And I ended up starting a board game meetup, and it became one of the largest, if not the largest, board game meetup in the Phoenix area. We attracted 80 people to a bar every Monday night, and for over 18 months, we had 80 people show up. And I handed it over to some of the younger crowd, and it's still going today. And they still get 35, 45 people every Monday. And that's where a lot of my friend groups came from. So I'd like to use that experience pushing myself outside of my comfort zone and help other people do that in a safer environment so that they don't have to go through the kind of pain and angst that I went through to get there. The hardest part of this experience of building my coaching practice has been the business end of it. So, although I had been involved in business and technology for quite some time, marketing myself, identifying who my ideal client was, identifying, who I wanted to serve and how I wanted to help was more challenging than I expected it to be. The coaching has kind of always come to me naturally, and I've been doing that since I'm in high school. I was always the go-to for people to come to when they wanted to talk something out. The education has provided a really good framework to use those inherent abilities and skills, and have taken them up a notch. But the marketing and the running of the business has been probably one of the more challenging things of starting out. So I would just John will be happy to know that I have the affirmations for life coaches from Coach Training EDU on my wall here in my office. And so, one of them is I'm becoming the coach I once needed. So if I were to tell myself 5 years ago, I would just tell myself to hang in there, it gets better, keep taking small actions. Small actions add up to big wins. And that's what I coach people today, is just to take those small incremental actions as long as you're moving forward. And that eventually will add up to, those big wins and big changes over time. What coaching means to me is acting in alignment with my values and teaching other people how to do that so that they can, live more satisfied, fulfilled, happier lives. That's one of the core values of my practice and what I coach around. And kind of like when you feel your actions aligning with your values, just everything kind of becomes lighter and easier, and there's not as much friction in your world. It's difficult to be a coach and to train people and help people have breakthroughs without having breakthroughs of your own and without practicing what you preach. I can't very well coach someone or suggest to someone that they do a morning routine to set their day up if I'm not doing a morning routine to set my day up and I'm not showing up as the coach that they need. What I learned most about myself in training is trusting the people that I'm working with, that they can find solutions for themselves if I'm asking them the right questions and getting curious about what they're looking to accomplish. When I came into training, and one of the things I worked through training was not being a suggester, and not trying to fix things for people. So I want to help, of course, but the best way to do that is to ask the right questions, be curious, be open to what the other person is experiencing, and they'll come to their right answers themselves. So just trusting that process. They provided me the confidence and the framework of how to coach, providing me that framework to hold my natural abilities and abilities that I've developed, empathy and so on over time, providing me with a framework to be able to share that with people in a constructive way to help them achieve their goals, was probably the best way that CTEDU has helped my coaching practice. CTEDU supported my business and professional growth in a couple of ways. First of all, they do provide a lot of resources for uh, you kind of self-paced self-education of how to develop and run your business. Also, the just the networking, the people that I met throughout the course, the instructors, meeting them have been really great. The portal that John developed to help others find and connect with coaches. I'm looking forward to seeing, that. Transformative moment in class for me is probably, you have a chance to do to receive and to do coaching. So you're practicing coaching and you're also getting coached while you're taking the instruction. So the aha moments came for me when my coaching was effective using the tools and the framework that I learned at CTEDU, and seeing someone that I was coaching, even though they were my classmate, respond to the process